Good morning, student. How are you? I hope you will be fine and continue your study through online classes provided by Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan Regional Office, Jabalpur. The student, in previous class of chapter Quadrilaterals, understanding quadrilaterals, we have discussed about some quadrilateral in which one of parallelogram, one is kite, and solve exercise 3.3. In this present class, we will discuss about some specific parallelogram, and on the basis of property of these specific type of parallelograms, try to solve exercise 3.4. So, let us start some special parallelogram. Student, you have already know what is a parallelogram. In previous class, we discussed that a quadrilateral in which both pair of opposite sides are parallel called parallelogram. By the name of parallelogram, it is clear that parallelogram, parallel means parallel sides. Both pair of opposite sides will be parallel. Okay. If we draw parallelogram this type, this is a parallelogram because AB parallel to CD and AD parallel to BC. Okay. One of the special type of parallelogram is rhombus. Or what is a rhombus? A rhombus is a quadrilateral with equal sides. It has all properties of a parallelogram and also that of a kite. Notice here, in a rhombus, all sides will be equal. It holds all properties of parallelogram and kites. The diagonal of a rhombus are perpendicular bisector of one another. Here, the diagonals of rhombus are perpendicular bisector of one another. Not the diagonals are equal. Notice here, the diagonals of parallelogram are not equal. Here in the figure, you can see that first diagonal V to D given that D1 and the second diagonal A to C given by D2. So, the measurement of both diagonals is different. Okay. So, what is a rhombus? Rhombus is a quadrilateral with equal sides. Okay. Second one, rectangle. A rectangle is a parallelogram with equal angles. Being a parallelogram, its opposite sides of equal length and its diagonal bisect each other. The diagonal of rectangle are equal of length. You already studied about the square and rectangle in class 6 and 7th. In a rectangle, we generally say that opposite sides are equal and all angles are 90 degree. Okay. Opposite sides are equal and parallel. So, it is also a parallelogram. So, rectangle is a parallelogram with all angles 90 degree. Okay. Next one, square. A square is a rectangle with equal sides. This means a square has all the properties of a rectangle with an additional requirement that all sides have equal length. The square, like the rectangle, has diagonals of equal length. In square, the diagonal bisect one another, are equal of length, are perpendicular to one another. Let us see here. Let if A, B, C, D is a square then AB equal to BC equal to CD equal to AD. All sides are equal, all angles are 90 degree. Okay, both diagonals are, both diagonal are of equal measurement, means AC equal to BD, and both diagonal bisect each other, means OA equal to OC, BO equal to DO, and these diagonals also bisect perpendicular. Okay, student, notice here, you are ready study that in a rhombus all sides are equal, and in a square also all sides are equal. So what is the difference between square and rhombus? So one major difference between square and rhombus, that diagonal of square are equal, but diagonal of rhombus are not equal. Okay, next one, here properties of different quadrilateral given by a diagram. Here first one is a quadrilateral, then you can see here in the left side kite, in the left corner a figure of kite is given, that, and two uppermost lines are red color and two below lines are blue color. These are adjacent sides, these are called adjacent sides. What is adjacent sides? We already discussed in previous class. So in a kite you can say that adjacent sides are equal, adjacent sides are equal. If we draw a kite, we see here this line equal to this line and this line equal to this line, means adjacent sides are equal. You can see here both, and both the adjacent side, pair of adjacent sides are equal, and diagonal bisect perpendicularly. Next one, you can see here a trapezium or trapezoid. Trapezoid called in USA and trapezium called in UK. We follow UK. So in India we know it by trapezium. What is a trapezium? A trapezium is a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides are parallel. Okay, you can see here one pair of sides is parallel. This parallel, this is non-parallel. A, B, C and D is a trapezium. This line parallel. Okay, and if both non-parallel sides are equal, then it is known as isosceles trapezium. If both non-parallel sides are equal, then it is known as isosceles trapezium. Next one, if both pair of opposite sides are parallel, so it is known as a parallelogram. We have discussed in previous class. You can see here both the opposite sides in red colors are equal, and both a pair of opposite sides in blue color are equal and parallel. So in a parallelogram, both pair of opposite sides are parallel and opposite sides are equal, opposite angles will be also equal. Then rhombus is a member of kite family, also a parallelogram family. We see here all the sides are represented by red color, so all sides are equal. In a rectangle, opposite sides are equal, and all angles are 90 degree. In a square, all the sides are equal, all angles are 90 degree. Student, notice here the yellow color arrow represent here a family group. Means if we discussed about the square, square holds all properties of rectangle, square also holds property of rhombus, also hold property of parallelogram. Similarly, if we discussed rhombus, rhombus is a quadrilateral, holds all properties of parallelogram and kite. Okay, what is a rectangle? A rectangle is a parallelogram. Okay, and in which opposite sides are equal and all angles are 90 degree. So square, rectangle and rhombus are belonging to parallelogram family. Which are belonging to parallelogram family? Square, rectangle and rhombus. Next one. First question of exercise 3.4. State whether true or false. First one, all rectangle are square. All rectangle are square. Student, you know that in a rectangle A, B, C, D, AB equal to DC and AD equal to BC, means opposite sides are equal, but in a square all sides must be equal. So this statement that all rectangle are square will be false. Rectangle is a parallelogram with one angle is 90. You know that rectangle is a parallelogram with one angle 90. A square is a parallelogram where all angles 90 and all sides are equal. Means in a square all sides must be equal, but in a rectangle opposite sides are equal. So all rectangles are not square. You can say that DC equal to AB, but DC does not equal to BC. In square we required all four sides are equal. So all rectangles are square. That is wrong or false. Second one, all rhombus are parallelogram. We have already discussed that rhombus belong to parallelogram family, means rhombus holds all properties of parallelogram and also properties of kite. So rhombus is a parallelogram where all sides are equal. Since both rhombus and parallelogram have their opposite sides equal or parallel, all rhombus are parallelogram. Draw rhombus here. A, B, C and D. It is a rhombus. It is a rhombus. And B want to know that it is also parallelogram or not. So what is a parallelogram? In a parallelogram opposite sides are parallel and equal. We also know that in a rhombus this side equal to this side and this side equal to this side. So opposite sides are equal and also these sides will be parallel. So all rhombus are parallelogram. All rhombus are parallelogram. So it is a true statement. We have already discussed that rhombus, rectangle and squares belong to parallelogram family. Next one, all square are rhombus and also rectangle. All squares are rhombus and rectangles. Draw a square. A, B, C and D. In a square all sides are equal. Also in a rhombus all sides are equal. So I square is a parallelogram with all angles 90 degree and all sides are equal. Both square and rhombus have their all sides equal. So all square are rhombus. All squares are rhombus because in a square all sides are equal and in a rhombus all sides are equal. Then also each angle of a square and a rectangle is a right angle. In a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. Here opposite sides AB equal to DC and VC equal to DA. So pair of opposite sides will be equal, and a square is a rectangle. So square is a rhombus and also rectangle. So this statement is true. All squares are rhombus and rectangle. Next one, all square are not parallelogram. Because square belongs to parallelogram family, this statement is false. You can see here that in a square ABCD, AB equal to BC equal to DC equal to CA, AD, all sides are equal, and in a parallelogram opposite sides are equal, this equal to this and this equal to this, so it is a parallelogram. Okay, so this statement is wrong. All kites are rhombus. All kites are rhombus. Kite is a quadrilateral where consecutive sides are equal. Okay, a rhombus is a parallelogram where all sides are equal. Here notice here that in kite consecutive sides are equal, but in rhombus we need all sides equal. So in a kite this side equal to this side equal to this side, but in parallelogram, in a rhombus we need this side, all sides are equal. So this kite is a rhombus, this statement is incorrect or false. Next one, all rhombus are kites. It's because rhombus holds all properties of kites and parallelogram. So in this rhombus A, B, C, D, this is rhombus, this is kite. In a rhombus all sides are equal, and in kite adjacent side will be equal. So this and this consecutive sides equal, and this equal to this, so it is also a kite. So this is correct. All rhombus are kites. This is correct. Next one, all parallelogram are trapezium. So we know that trapezium, one pair of opposite sides is parallel. In parallelogram, both pair of opposite sides are parallel. In parallelogram, both pair of opposite sides are parallel, and we need one side of opposite side parallel. So this statement is correct. All square are trapezium. In a trapezium, a pair of opposite sides is parallel, and we know that in a square all sides are equal and both pair of opposite sides parallel. In a square both pair of opposite sides parallel, but in a trapezium we need one pair of opposite sides is parallel, so it is also a true statement. Next one, identify all the quadrilaterals that have four sides of equal length. So here you can see that ABCD is a square in which AB equal to BC equal to CD equal to DA, and PQRS is a rhombus in which PQ equal to QR equal to RS equal to SP. So quadrilateral that have four sides of equal length are square and rhombus. You can answer this, that quadrilateral in which all sides are equal are square and rhombus. Next one, for right angle, you know that in a square all angles are right angle 90 degree, angle A equal to angle B equal to angle C equal to angle D, and also in a rectangle all angles are 90 degree. So quadrilateral that have four right angles are square and rectangle. Next one, explain how a square is a quadrilateral. A square is a quadrilateral. What is a square? Square is a quadrilateral of in which all sides are equal, all angles are equal, all diagonals are equal, and diagonal bisect each other at right angle. So square has four sides. How square is a quadrilateral? Here question is explain how square is a quadrilateral. Draw a square. How many side? A, B, C and D. How many sides? 4 side, and the polygon having 4 sides known as quadrilateral. So it is a quadrilateral. Means a square has 4 sides, so it is a quadrilateral. Next one. How square is a parallelogram? You know that a parallelogram has both pair of opposite sides parallel. A square has both pair of opposite sides parallel, so it is a parallelogram. You can see here the properties of square and then prove that square is a parallelogram or not, because see here that square is a parallelogram with all angles 90 degree. So parallelogram has both pair of opposite sides parallel. In a parallelogram, both pair of opposite sides are parallel. And a square has both pair of opposite sides are parallel. Means this parallel to this and this parallel to this. So it is a parallelogram. Next one. How square is a rhombus? In a rhombus, all sides are equal, and also in a square, all sides are equal. So square has all sides equal, and rhombus also have 4 sides equal, so it is a rhombus. Next one. How square is a rectangle? A rectangle is a parallelogram with one angle is 90. It is defined by parallelogram theorem that a rectangle is a parallelogram where one angle is 90, and we know that I square is a parallelogram where all angles are 90, and we need one angle 90. So if all angles are 90, then one angle also must 90 degree. So all squares are rectangle because in a square all angles are 90 degree. Next one. Bisect each other. Name the quadrilaterals whose diagonals bisect each other. Student, notice here that the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. Since rhombus, square and rectangle are also parallelogram, the diagonals also bisect each other. Means quadrilateral whose diagonals bisect each other are parallelogram, rhombus, square and rectangle. You know that in a parallelogram, diagonal bisect each other. Means this equal to this and this side equal to this side. Parallelogram. Okay, and you know that square, rectangle and rhombus are the type of parallelogram. So the quadrilateral in which diagonal bisect each other are parallelogram, rhombus, square and rectangle. Next one. Name the quadrilateral whose diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other. The diagonal are perpendicular bisector when all sides of a quadrilateral are equal. Notice here only the diagonals perpendicular bisector when the sides of a quadrilateral are equal, and you know that rhombus and square are the quadrilaterals that have their sides equal. So the quadrilaterals that in which the diagonals perpendicular bisect each other are rhombus and square. If anyone asks you that if a quadrilateral ABCD, if in a quadrilateral ABCD, A, B, C and D, all sides are equal, what about the diagonal of it? So you can say that diagonal bisect each other at perpendicular, or perpendicular bisect each other, because if in a quadrilateral all sides are equal, the diagonals perpendicular bisect each other. So all diagonals in perpendicular bisect each other, the quadrilaterals are rhombus and square. Next one. Name the quadrilaterals whose diagonals are equal. The diagonals of a quadrilateral are equal if all the angles are equal. Notice here, if all angles are equal, then diagonals will be equal. Means rectangle and square have their all angles equal. So the quadrilateral in which diagonals are equal are rectangle and square. Next one. Explain why a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. Student, you know that. What is a convex quadrilateral? Convex quadrilateral has all the diagonal inside the quadrilateral. Okay? Means if we have a quadrilateral and the diagonal of this quadrilateral lies inside it, then it is known as convex. And in a rectangle ABCD, there are 4 sides AB, BC, CD and DA, and the diagonal AC and BD lies inside the rectangle. So ABCD is a convex quadrilateral. I hope it is clear to you. Next one. This question is very important. ABC is a triangle, and O is the midpoint of the side opposite to the right angle. Explain why O is equidistant from A and C. The dotted lines are drawn additionally to help you. The question is exactly given in the same part in the book. Here given a right angle triangle ABC. You can see here this angle, this triangle ABC is a right angle at B, and O is the opposite point opposite to right angle, means AC, on the AC. Okay. Now O is the midpoint of AC. O is equidistant from A, B and C, means you have to prove that this line segment equal to this line segment equal to this line segment, means AO equal to BO equal to CO. We have to prove that this. Okay. So let's see here. Draw line from A parallel to BC, already drawn, and draw line C parallel to BA. Let them join at D, join O to D. This is the complete figure given in the book. Next, in ABCD, AB parallel to DC by construction, AB parallel to DC by construction, and BC parallel to AD by construction, means this side AB parallel to this side and this side BC parallel to this side AD. So both pair of opposite sides are parallel, so it is a parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel, ABCD is a parallelogram, and we know that adjacent angle of a parallelogram are supplementary, means this angle B and this angle C will be supplementary, means sum of these angles are 180. B plus angle C 180 degree. Angle B equal to 90, so angle C equal to 180 minus 90 gives 90 degree. Angle C equal to 90 degree. You can see here B plus C equal to 180, C equal to 90 degree. Also, opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal, so angle A equal to angle C, this angle A equal to this angle C, this angle B equal to this angle D, means angle A equal to angle B equal to angle C equal to angle D. All angles are equal and all are 90 degree. Each angle of ABCD is a right angle, so ABCD is a parallelogram with all angle 90, so ABCD is a rectangle. And now we know that the diagonal of rectangle bisect each other. The diagonal of rectangle, here ABCD is a rectangle, and we know that the diagonal of rectangle equal, means AC equal to BD, AC equal to BD. One minute. AC equal to BD. Okay. And you know that AO and OC, AO equal to OC equal to half of AC, Why? Because O is the midpoint of AC. O is the midpoint of AC. O equal to OC equal to half AC. Similarly, OB equal to OD equal to half BD. Because diagonals are equal. The diagonals of a rectangle are equal, so divide by 2. Half AC equal to half BD. Half AC equal to AO, means AO equal to BO equal to CO, because half AC known as AO and OC, half BD known as BO. So apply here, 1 by 2 BD equal to 1 by 2 AC, OB equal to OA. So OA equal to OB equal to OC. Hence O is equidistant from point A, B and C. I hope it is clear to you. Thank you very much.